Hello there everyone. I have found the option to make this render full screen, so that'll be a bit easier for me to manage on the YouTubeification backend. So yay. Let's keep talking to people in here though.
So, does the mead taste good?
It at least makes everything a bit more bearable.
You seem quite exuberant.
Let's just say I'm slowly coming to terms with the current situation. For now. And by the way, this isn't my first mead either. Want me to buy you one?
Thanks, but I need a clear head right now. The music is quite nice, isn't it?
I'm really glad that, despite everything, a certain normality is still being retained here. And to be honest, I'm only here to throw my legs back and forth. You know, to shake off all the overwhelming anxiety. But I'm already dreading the moment when the music is over and the worrying starts again.
You are approaching music in the wrong way. But I guess it is good that it exists to do that for you.
Can you tell me what's going on right now?
I wish I could. At the moment, I feel reminded of those long-gone times that my great-great-grandfather used to tell me about. Those dangerous times when the wolves still lived and hunted freely among us. It was a real blessing for us that the wolves were eventually driven back into their closed-off territory.
Yeah, getting more tea in the cup. I'm ready to keep clicking now.
So you don't seem to be too fond of the wolves either.
When I was little, I was downright obsessed with the culture and lifestyle of the wolves. I pestered my great-grandfather with countless questions, and he could answer each of them with a true horror story. One thing he told me is that any form of art is completely unknown to wolves. Not a single pencil or brush could ever be held by one of their massive paws, solely because they are only shaped for grabbing and crushing our necks.
Sounds unpleasant.
The only thing they'd ever call art are the deep red blood puddles that their victims leave on the ground.
That must have spoiled your curiosity, huh?
Pretty much. Actually, I'd like to visit the wolves area one day and be convinced of the opposite. But surely there's a reason why these old stories exist.
Could be. I'm sure we'll find out eventually.
Do you think the king can handle this?
Oh, I can't really form an opinion on that. Regarding the tension with the wolves, the royal family has only been doing, let's say, damage control in the last few centuries. Sometimes I wonder if diplomatic negotiations with the wolves might be possible. But the wolves seem to be nasty, unpredictable guys. And that's why such a proposal would certainly cause an outcry among many animals.
My family is missing.
Oh no, how awful! What happened?
They came from my parents' house. Everyone is gone.
At the moment, no one is really safe anymore.
Did you happen to see two deer? About my size, a little older, graying fur?
I'm sorry to disappoint you, but no. But I'll keep all of my paws crossed that nothing bad has happened to them.
To move on to another topic.
It's best to stay in town until things get back to normal.
Sorry, accidental double click there. Anyway, we should also speak to the hedgehog here.
Hello there!
Greetings, my friend.
The music's alright, isn't it?
Yes, it's quite nice. But it's also kind of mainstream. The songs are catchy, but the chord progressions are a bit predictable and quite overused nowadays. They only use power chords in every song. I like it a bit more alternative.
Someone's a bit of a snob.
I had a band once too. Me on the lute, a peacock on the vocals, and a giant hamster on the drums. But soon that hamster had crammed so much junk into the rehearsal room that we had no space left to practice. Occasionally, even pieces of our equipment had disappeared into his cheeks. One day, it was clear to us. We had to kick him out.
Aw, that sucks.
Tell me more.
I know a hedgehog band that is totally my jam!
Oh, hedgehogs. I heard that the noise of their spikes scratching on their instruments is almost unbearable live.
Yes, but they do that on purpose, and it's called a stylistic element. Sometimes the scratching gets so loud that you can't even hear the rest of the instruments. And often, the amount of scratching even reaches more than 200 scratches per minute.
I think I heard something about that once. My great-grandfather couldn't stand that style of music at all. He liked more melodic choruses with punchy deer roar.
I believe you. Older folks can't stand music like this. But every genre has to evolve at some point, doesn't it? Where would we be if we only rehashed the old stuff?
Well, I'm more of a nostalgic person. I don't mind that so much.
Oh, and by the way, let me tell you about this. Groups of howler monkeys and pistol shrimps are currently forming new bands a few towns from here. And it sounds so rad! The hottest dung ever, according to some connoisseur circles.
Rad. I'll remember that.
Rad. Okay. I think someone my age wrote this game.
To move on to another topic. What do you think of the wolves?
What? Wolves? Where? Help!
Easy. I just wanted to ask.
Please, don't scare me like that.
I can tell you don't seem to trust them very much.
It took me 2 days to gather the courage to go outside again. Like any smart hedgehog, I had holed up in my house and lain in the corner of my room, curled up into a spiky ball. After all, the wolves could be anywhere.
Oh, come on.
Also, this morning I heard something scratch at my window. I immediately knew that this could only be the terrible claws of a wolf.
Oh no. Did you get help?
It was just a branch, but my hedgehog sense tells me that next time it may be a wolf. It wouldn't surprise me if those guys are walking around the houses at this very moment to seek out their next meal among us. As soon as the concert is over, I will immediately hole up in my house again. It's way too dangerous out here.
You seem awfully scared of them.
Of course! Hasn't anyone ever told you those old stories about them? Terrible stories about what those guys do to their victims? How they show no mercy once they get you? How their teeth shatter every bone of their victim into millions of bloody pieces just by touching them? How they grab your neck and wring it as if it's an old washcloth?
Apparently not the R-rated versions.
Those are much worse.
That might be a little bit exaggerated.
Enough of this. I'll be on my way.
Stay vigilant.
But let's actually get somewhere this episode, shall we? So, a good doggo friend led us to the mole mines in the previous episode. Let's go there and see what's up.
The trail leads right to the entrance of the mole mines.
What is this place?
The moles were mining here a few years ago. However, it was never particularly productive here, if I remember correctly. Now, the mine is closed.
So I guess I'll have to go in there.
I don't know if this is such a good idea. You would better come back to town and wait for the king to get a grip on the current situation.
And abandon my family?
Actually, I would like to help you so much. But out here, my knees are shaking with fear.
Go back to town. I'll get to the bottom of this on my own.
All right. I wish you all the luck.
Okay. The first line of the walkthrough says simply push. But what am I supposed to push? Maybe I can push the ocean.
Water, make way. Here I come. Oh, too bad. It doesn't work.
Okay. Push the ocean. Right. Just fix the walkthrough there.
I may not have eaten anything this morning, but that was definitely not my stomach.
That was mine, sorry. Oh.
Phew.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Let there be light. Well, thank you very much. There's some drop that thinks it has to blow out every fire. This rock must have seen a lot of moles. It's stuck way too deep in the ground. With the proper tools, I'm sure you could crush these rocks.
Let's see. It says pick up small stones. But I am not seeing anything at all like that.
It's so dark. Some light would be nice now. I can still squeeze through this narrow gap.
Huh.
It's stuck way too deep.
Okay, well,
I already carry enough dark secrets around with me. Actually not. Well, those rocks sure picked a nice place to lie down. Somebody must have smashed some rocks here a long time ago.
Okay, well, I think we need to pick these up. And then we hop back in here. And do that. Why is that a thing we can do in this game, actually? Well, I guess we need to have small souls in our pocket at all times.
When I was little, I often sat here and looked out to the ocean. Wait a minute. Pretty. There's a little shell. What a beauty. The shell doesn't change anything here.
Okay, well, I have a shell. Is that a good thing?
I really think it'd be a lot prettier if there was a shiny pearl inside of it. Oh, there's actually one in there. What a coincidence. How it gleams.
Okay, there's apparently a grotto in here to explore.
Greetings.
Shush! I am a rock.
Of course you are.
You don't understand. That's my strategy.
Huh?
I've been trying to get my hands on one of these glowing bugs for 3 days now. But these little animals are so terribly shy. If I stay here long enough and don't move, they might think that I am a rock. As soon as one of the bugs crawls on me, I strike.
Oh, great! Did it work already?
Unfortunately not. But my time will come. Maybe even tomorrow. Or the day after tomorrow. Or the day after.
You'll achieve great things one day, my friend. Can I have your jar?
I'm sorry, but that jar is extremely important to me.
Maybe later.
All right, but be a little quieter.
Huh. Why does this
So
exist?
that's the reason why these fat beetles feel so comfortable here. They like to snack on the leaves of this plant. The plant is rooted deeply into the ground of the cave. I only took some of the sticky leaves.
Well, it's good that you didn't uproot the whole thing. That makes you look almost irresponsible.
The leaves stick to the
I think
wood
you can
quite
do
nicely.
this. Ah, okay, yeah, that is to have, well, yeah, have something combustible stick to the thing and not blow out immediately. Okay, I can live with that.
He couldn't resist the leaves.
Hey, that doesn't count.
I just like to make things a little easier for myself.
Or we could take a glowing bug with us to the cave instead, that works too. And in here we have...
Hello.
What's that noise? Get off my ship, boy. And please, take your weird twin over there with you.
Well, this guy is sufficiently drunk.
I'm Finn. You're the ferryman here, right?
That's right. I am Bolek. Bolek the Ferryman. A seal of action and adventure at sea.
That's great. How much is a ride?
Whoa, slow down, kid. Let me think a sec. Well, I'll have to disappoint you. My ferry service is closed for an indefinite amount of time. The sea is too unpredictable at the moment, even for a more than competent sea dog like me.
But neither you nor your boat looks like that.
What do you mean?
Your boat's all messed up and stuck in the sand. Probably as deep as you looked into your meat glass.
You're right. But trust me, I know the surrounding seas as thoroughly as my midriff bulge. However, at the moment, things are looking pretty bleak around here. What else can I do but get drunk like there's no tomorrow?
Let's talk about something else. Huh? What ship?
You're cracking me up, kid. Can't you smell the salty air of the high seas as it passes through the walls of my faithful SS Wormdite?
You mean that old thing out there? Then the name says it all.
I guess you're right, kid. The SS Wormdite hasn't seen water in a while. But wait, that means we are in my hut. Oh, my head. But then, this terrible swaying must be caused by something else. It must be the mattress. Oh, if I get my fins on the rascal who sold me this cursed mattress here.
What are you talking about?
Can't you see how mercilessly it spins and rocks this poor old sailor around? Oh no, here we go again.
You know, I could laugh at that if I, strictly speaking, didn't have to bother with people at work jumping to such bonkers conclusions. But that's me ranting. Let's not do that.
What's the sea like out there?
Let me tell you something, my boy. No one sees the seas like I do.
I'll take your word for that.
And I can tell you that from here, the sea actually seems very calm right now. Perfect conditions to transport a few paying travelers from one nearby island to another. Currently, however, there are other problems keeping customers away from me.
Yeah, let's go with this.
Oh? What happened?
At the moment, rumors of mysterious sightings
Cop
are
out.
going around. Not only on dry land, where you landlubbers are, but also at sea. An old drinking friend of mine recently disappeared without a trace while he was sailing out there.
Really? That's terrible.
His boat must have been adrift without him for a while before it was finally found on a nearby shore. People also reported seeing strange shadows here and there under the surface of the water. I'll tell you what, my boy. Those are definitely not schools of herring.
Oh no, this sounds similar to what must have happened to my parents. When I was at their house this morning, they seem to have dropped off the face of the earth as well. The house still resembles a field of rubble. We have to stick together. Something terrible is going on here right now. Has there been any sign of life from your buddy? Maybe there is hope for all those who have disappeared. Hello?
Herrings. Wait, where was I? I'm telling you, I'd like to get to the bottom of this. As soon as I have a repaired boat, or better yet, repair tools, or money with which I could buy such tools, or customers which would get me some money in the first place. It's driving me up the wall, darn it.
Well, maybe we can see about finding you some clientele.
Do you have any guesses as to what the threat is?
Many animals suspect the wolves, but I think the shadows under the water's surface say otherwise. Unless the wolves have recently acquired submarines.
I'm guessing they haven't.
Enough of this. This subject is making me cranky. You must have some great sea dog stories.
Sure. Let me tell you the story that makes even the most hardened sailors tremble to this day.
Great! Tell me!
About 30 years ago, I signed up for a journey on board the SS Rubber Duck. We were a small crew in search of an ancient treasure chest hidden somewhere in an unmapped area of the sea. One day, we came across an island in said area. Thinking that nothing could go wrong, we went ashore. However, since the day we started planning the journey, sailors began warning us about the ominous bleating that is said to be heard there occasionally. We also heard it when we went ashore. Bah, bah, a harbinger of great danger, they said. We ignored it, and after a few hours, we found said treasure chest in a hidden cave. When we returned to our ship, we suddenly recognized the disaster we had gotten ourselves into. Thousands of giant sheep with soaked wool waited for us on the shore. The sea level was at least 5 meters lower than usual, and the keel of the ship was on dry land. There was no doubt that these sheep were the legendary sponge sheep.
Seriously?
Until then, we thought it was just a fairy tale, told by sailors during long nights in the tavern. But here, they turned out to be a horrifying reality. These cursed sheep were able to soak up large parts of the ocean with their wool. How else do you think the tides are created?
What unbelievable nonsense!
Quiet? Those beasts threatened to send their biggest sheep with the thickest and most plentiful wool into the water as well, if we didn't leave the treasure on the island. To prevent an ecological disaster, we obeyed their order and made a run for it. To this day, every one of my crewmates is haunted by terrible nightmares in which the sponge sheep return and simply drain the water from under the ship's keel.
Nice story, but you need to work on the plot structure and character development.
Okay, well, I think we'll end it there.
I gotta go.
Stay safe, kid. These are stormy times.
Well, I'm not quite ready to end the episode.
I don't think anyone will get far with this boat. The wood is brittle from back to front, and it all reminds me more of Swiss cheese than a watercraft.
Sorry to hear that. But we need to go back to the mines.
Let there be light. Ugh, I probably have to go in there. At this spot, my little buddy still gives off enough light. It's always better to have both hooves free.
Yeah. That's a really big key though.
For small moles, this lever is not exactly designed ergonomically. Something tells me this is probably not part of the mole mines anymore.
Okay, so there was a notice to save the game when you saw that icon.
Are
So,
they made of steel? I've never seen anything like that. They certainly weren't made by the moles.
let's just end the game at, well, end the episode at this point and find out what insanity that might get me in the face in the next one. So stay tuned, everyone.